The Sufi Message of Hazrat Inayat, Volume 2, The Mysticism of Sound, Centennial Edition. The Silent Life. The life absolute, from which has sprung all that is felt, seen, and perceived, and into which in time again merges, is a silent, motionless, and eternal life, which among the Sufis is called Zat. Every motion that springs forth from this silent life is a vibration and a creator of vibrations. Within one vibration are created many vibrations. As motion causes motion, so the silent life becomes active in a certain part and creates every moment more and more activity, losing thereby the peace of the original silent life. It is the grade of activity of these vibrations that account for the various planes of existence. These planes are imagined to differ from one another, but in reality, they cannot be entirely detached and made separate from one another. The activity of vibrations makes them grosser, and thus the earth is born of the heavens. The mineral, vegetable, animal, and human kingdoms are the gradual changes of vibrations, and the vibrations of each plane differ from one another in their weight, breadth, length, color, effect, sound, and rhythm. Humanity is not only formed of vibrations, but lives and moves in them. They surround us as the fish is surrounded by water, and we contain them within ourselves as the tank contains water. Our different moods, inclinations, affairs, successes and failures, and all conditions of life depend upon a certain activity of vibrations. Whether these be thoughts, emotions, or feelings, it is the direction of the activity of vibrations that accounts for the variety of things and beings. This vibratory activity is the basis of sensation and the source of all pleasure and pain. Its cessation is the opposite of sensation. All sensations are caused by a certain grade of activity of vibration. There are two aspects of vibrations, fine and gross, both containing varied degrees. Some are perceived by the soul, some by the mind, and some by the eyes. What the soul perceives are of feelings. What the mind conceives are of thoughts. What the eyes see are the vibrations solidified from their ethereal state and turned into atoms, which appear in the physical world, constituting the elements ether, air, fire, water, and earth. The finest vibrations are imperceptible, even to the soul. The soul itself is formed of these vibrations. It is their activity which makes it conscious. Creation begins with the activity of consciousness, which may be called vibration. And every vibration starting from its original source is the same, differing only in its tone and rhythm, caused by the greater or lesser degree of force behind it. In the plane of sound, vibration causes diversity of tone, and in the world of atoms, diversity of color. It is by massing together that the vibrations become audible, but at each step towards the surface, they multiply, and as they advance, they materialize. Sound gives to the consciousness an evidence of its existence, although it is in fact the active part of consciousness itself which turns into sound. The knower, so to say, becomes known to the knower's own self. In other words, the consciousness bears witness to its own voice. It is therefore that sound appeals to human beings. All things being derived from and formed of vibrations have sound hidden within them, as fire and flint, and each atom of the universe confesses by its tone, "My sole origin is but sound." If any solid or sonorous body is struck, it will answer back, "I am sound." Sound has its birth, death, sex, form, planet, God, color, childhood, youth, and age. But that volume of sound which is in the abstract, beyond the sphere of the concrete, is the origin and basis of all sound. Both sound and color make their effect on the human soul, according to the law of harmony. To a fine soul, color appeals, and to a still finer soul, sound. Tone has either a warm or a cold effect, according to its element. Since all elements are made of different degrees of vibration, therefore, sound can produce an agreeable or a disagreeable effect upon the human mind and body, and has its healing effect in the absence of herbs and drugs, which also have their origin in vibration. Manifestations being formed of vibrations, the planets are the primal manifestations, each planet having its peculiar tone. Therefore, every note represents one planet. Every individual, therefore, has a note peculiar to oneself, which is according to one's birth planet. For this reason, a certain tone appeals to a particular person, according to the grade of that person's evolution. Every element has a sound peculiar to itself. In the finer element, the circle of sound expands, and in the grosser element, it narrows. It is therefore distinct in the former and indistinct in the latter. Earth has various aspects of beauty as well as of variety in its sound. Its pitch is on the surface, its form in crescent-like and in color yellow. The sound of earth is dim and dull and produces a thrill, activity, and movement in the body. All instruments of wire and gut, as well as the instruments of percussion, such as the drum, cymbals, represent the sound of earth. The sound of water is deep. Its form is serpent-like, its color green, and it is best heard in the roaring of the sea. The sound of running water, of mountain rills, the drilling and patterning of rain, the sound of water running from a pitcher into a jar, from a pipe into a tub, from a bottle into a glass, all have a smooth and lively effect, and a tendency to produce imagination, whim, dream, affection, and emotion. The instrument called jaltarang is an arrangement of china bowls or glasses, graduated in size and filled with water in proportion to the desired scale. More water lowers the tone, and less raises it. These instruments have a touching effect upon the emotions of the heart. The sound of fire is high-pitched. Its form is curled, and its color red. It is heard in the falling of the thunderbolt, and in a volcanic eruption, and the sound of a fire when blazing, and the noise of squibs, crackers, rifles, guns, and cannons. All these have a tendency to produce fear. The sound of air is wavering, its form zigzag, and its color blue. Its voice is heard in storms, when the wind blows, and in the whisper of the morning breeze. Its effect is breaking, sweeping, and piercing. The sound of air finds expression in all wind instruments made of wood, brass, and bamboo. It has a tendency to kindle the fire of the heart, as Rumi writes in his Masnavi about the flute. Krishna is always portrayed in Indian art with a flute. The air sound overpowers all other sounds, for it is living, and its very aspect, its influence produces ecstasy. The sound of ether is self-contained, and it holds all forms and colors. It is the base of all sounds, and is the undertone, which is ever continuous. Its instrument is the human body, because it can be audible through it. Although it is all-pervading, yet it is unheard. It manifests to humans as they purify their bodies from material properties. The body can become its proper instrument when the space within is open, when all the tubes and veins in it are free. Then the sound which exists externally in space becomes manifest inwardly also. Ecstasy, illumination, restfulness, fearlessness, rapture, joy, and revelation are the effects of this sound. To some, it manifests of itself. To others, when they are in a negative state caused by weakness of the body or mind. To neither of these is it a benefit, but on the other hand, it causes them to be abnormal. This sound only elevates those who open themselves to it by the sacred practices known to the mystics. The sound of earth and water, commingled, has a tenderness and delicacy. The sound of earth and fire produces harshness. The sound of earth and air has strength and power. The sound of water and fire has a lively and animating effect. The sound of water with ether has a soothing and comfortable effect. The sound of fire and air has a terrifying and fearsome effect. The sound of fire with ether has a breaking and freeing effect. The sound of air with ether produces calm and peace.